Wise words of wisdom, inspirational quotes, IQ, worldwide popularity, and incredible talent. Kobe Bryant was loved and respected by millions of people all over the world. Sit back and relax as you learn from this fantastic collection of his greatest quotes. The thing that's most enjoyable to me is not actually beating someone in the game. It's the process of coming up with the blueprint of beating that I enjoy. That's a huge flip. So for me, I enjoy building. I enjoy coming up. There's a reason why players that have multiple championships have multiple championships. There's a certain characteristic and an understanding and knowledge, and that's not something that's easily taught. You kind of have to go through it, and it kind of has to be part of your DNA from the beginning. The Black Mamba collection of watches is me. It is my alter ego, so to speak. As I mentioned before, it is sharp, cutting edge, and sleek, which are characteristics I try to apply when I'm out there on the basketball court. Michael Jackson. He was something more than one of my favorite entertainers, a true friend. He wasn't just a genius. Above all, he was a good person who gave so much. He gave people values. He encouraged them to better themselves all the time. He was far deeper and more authentic than people could see. He was misunderstood too many times. A lot of times things get blown out of proportion in a negative light, especially in the NBA. But there are a lot of players in the NBA who really care about the community and want to use their basketball playing ability for a good cause. It's just a matter of getting those legs back. Hooper scooper. Yeah, I've done it a few times. Every once in a while, you have to. Just got one more than Shaq. You can take that to the bank. That argument doesn't make any sense to me. So we want to advance as a society and as a culture. But say, if something happens to an African American, we immediately come to his defense. Yet you want to talk about how far we've progressed as a society. Well, if we've progressed as a society, then you don't jump to somebody's defense just because they're African American. You sit and you listen to the facts just like you would in any other situation, right? So I won't assert myself. I know how to play my guard spot. He can worry about the low post. It's wonderful for the players. It's a huge challenge and a huge responsibility for us to get our act together, get our butts in gear. Phil isn't going to bail us out because of our mental lapses. There's certain companies that line up with what the brand represents. There are other things that are more investment focused. There's a much bigger world out there. I don't want to say I'll be back at the top of my game, because everybody's gonna think I'm crazy, and it's the old player not letting go sort of thing, but that's what it's gonna be. Phil Jackson is such a basketball genius in terms of the details of the game, the little nuances of the game, and the rhythm of the game. Are you willing to push the right buttons, even if it means being perceived as the villain? I'd rather be perceived as a winner than a good teammate. I wish they both went hand in hand all the time, but that's just not reality. I have nothing in common with lazy people who blame others for their lack of success. I didn't expect this award, the 2008 MVP, would come to me. I'm surprised. I've played pretty well in other seasons. Our team hasn't been as good. Things just fell into place. Dropkick Murphys get me going, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Nirvana, plus all the regular hip-hop stuff. Ew, I'd be a little uncomfortable Googling myself. People sit there and Google themselves. That's kind of weird. Isn't the basis of a democracy to send somebody to Washington to bring something back for you? It isn't. Can I jump over 2 or 3 guys like I used to? No. Am I as fast as I used to be? No, but I still have the fundamentals and smarts. That's what enables me to still be a dominant player. As a kid growing up, I never skipped steps. I always worked on fundamentals because I know athleticism is fleeting. My role is to make sure we're moving in the right direction, getting points, rebounds, steals, assists, and providing leadership.
You are watching Wise Words of Wisdom, Inspirational Quotes, IQ, the Inspirational Quotes channel everyone goes to for their daily motivation and to learn from the most successful men and women in history. If you like today's video, give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing so you never miss a new episode. Today's sponsor is Bob Proctor and the Proctor Gallagher Institute. Discover the secret to having good luck from America's greatest prosperity teacher, Bob Proctor. 6 Minutes to Success is based on Bob's more than 50 years of research into what makes or keeps people from being successful. Get instant access to the free video right now. The link is in the description. Now let's get back to more great quotes.
I think that game is a testament to what happens when you put no ceiling to what you're capable of doing. You want me to own a team and deal with these rich, spoiled, stubborn athletes and try to get them to perform? No, thank you. Difficulty is a nurse of greatness, a harsh nurse who rocks her foster children roughly, but rocks them in strength and athletic proportion. The mind, grappling with great aims and wrestling with mighty impediments, grows by a certain necessity to the stature of greatness. My brain cannot process failure. It will not process failure. I wear the number 10 jersey for the U.S. national team in honor of the greatest athlete I have ever seen, Messi. Diligent accumulation of personal wealth is not inherently ungodly so long as it is complemented by equally diligent distribution of personal wealth. The guy said NBA players are 1 in a million. I said, man, look, I'm going to be that 1 in a million. I'm extremely willful to win, and I respond to challenges, scoring titles and stuff like that. It sounds Well, I don't care how it sounds. To me, scoring comes easy. It's not a challenge to me to win the scoring title, because I know I can. I'm chasing perfection. I realize now that there's a strength in dunking that I can use to my advantage. When you dunk all the time, it isn't as demoralizing to the opponent, but when you dunk at a key moment in the game, you can use it to change the momentum. One thing you gotta know about me is I have absolutely no filter. I have no problem saying what the hell I think of someone. We're grown-ass men. You don't need to be falling all over the place. Everybody shut up. Let us work. I don't think a coach becomes the right coach until he wins a championship. I'm focused on the task that lies ahead for us. It never bothered me when people would say, "You only win championships because you're playing with Shaq." It bothered me when he said it. He is a fool who only sees the mischiefs that are past. My brain, it cannot process failure. It will not process failure. Because if I sit there and have to face myself and tell myself, "You're a failure," I think that's almost worse than death. It's not a question of if we make the playoffs. We will, and when we get there, I have no fear of anyone. I draw from the crowd a lot. When I'm finished playing, I want people to say, "He handled this well. He kept his cool." I wouldn't say I'm a ball hog. I'm a shooter. I don't necessarily hog the ball, but I put them up though. I would definitely much rather shoot it than pass it. That's just how I am. You just try to take it one day at a time. You step on the basketball floor and just play. It's fun. I'm comfortable with it. When you start training camp, you're building the tools necessary to win a championship. You have to have the patience. You have to go with things that you understand, businesses that you know. I don't have to hear that criticism, that idiotic criticism anymore. I don't want to be the next Michael Jordan. I only want to be Kobe Bryant. It's hard for me to grasp the concept of somebody being nervous when I'm talking to them. I don't talk trash often, but when I do, I go for the jugular. I was just letting the shots fly. You know, I don't leave any bullets in the chamber. I wouldn't say I'm a ball hog. I'm a shooter. Everybody wants to talk about NBA players being selfish and arrogant and individuals. But what you saw today was a team bonding and facing adversity and coming out with a big win. If I panic, everyone else panics. I was shooting 45 times a game. What was I supposed to do? For us to be the team that got him that historic 10th championship is special for us. In an individual sport, yes, you have to win titles. Baseball's different, but basketball, hockey, one person can control the tempo of a game, can completely alter the momentum of a series. There's a lot of great individual talent. If there were camera phones back in the day, the biggest athletes in the world would have had a lot of explaining to do. I felt like when we came back from the All-Star break, we needed everybody to feel like they were part of the team. I'm just trying to do whatever the team needs at any given time. I've got 4 dogs, and I just don't do dog do. I'm a diva when it comes to that. Nobody in the world can guard me one-on-one. The only thing I'm afraid of is bees. I don't like bees. I'm allergic to them. I focus on one thing and one thing only. That's trying to win as many championships as I can. You want a CEO that understands they need to build a team around them that's sharper and smarter than they are. The motivation for me is just the game itself. Just playing the game the right way and trying to win. Compete every time I step out there on the floor. That's motivation enough for me to go out there and play well. We hope you have enjoyed these quotes as much as we do. We know your time is very important. Thank you for choosing to spend it with us. We look forward to seeing you on the next one. Click the card to check out another great one now.